All right, guys, how's everything going? This is Hala Pablo. Thanks for tuning in. Bitcoin's pumping, right? It's doing what we said it would do, right? It's trying to reclaim those previous support lines within the rising wedge, and it's making a stab at it. Here I have it on the macro and the micro. On the micro, the forensic time period, we got it on the 30-minute, and then we have the top on the daily. Both of them, you see, these are fractal ranges. This this down here, this 30-minute, this rising wedge is this up here. All of this here is taking place in this little area here. Here. So the whole purpose of fractal range analysis is we're trying to figure out what the bias is going to be from looking at the more minute, the more detailed price action movements of Bitcoin. And so we see here on the micro that indeed we have above average demand, and it has come up through the midpoint of the wedge and has made contact with the upper, this is resistance now, the micro trend resistance, just as it's done here and here throughout the history of this counter trend on the micro. And isn't it extraordinary how similar these two are? These two are. You would think it's the same coin, the same. I mean, it is the same coin, but it's like in the same time format or time frame. But it's really not. I mean, this is the daily and this is the 30-minute. So what is there? 48 of candles of these equal one of these, and yet look at the pattern, how similar it is. It's because everything can be broken down into a mirror image, a replication on the micro of what it is in the macro. And so we see this. And so we see that this is making an attempt at the micro trend resistance, and this is making its way up also to the macro trend resistance. Now, this is going to transpire a lot quicker than this, obviously, right? Because the micro plays out a hell of a lot faster. So we'll be able to know the overall trajectory of what's going on the macro when we see what this does now that it's taken or rather touched the microtrend resistance. If, for example, volume begins to decrease and we start to get a pullback, and as it pulls back, we start to see a buildup of supply, then we can surmise that up here on the macro that it's going to begin to sell off as well, especially if this comes on the micro back to channel or rather wedge midpoint, and then kind of consolidates a little bit and then begins to further have failures to rally and mark down towards now in the bottom half, working its way towards support, microtrend support, then we can reasonably assume that this as well is going to make its way back to the midpoint of this macro wedge. And if this breaks structure on the micro and goes through support and begins making its way back down into this area here, then we can reasonably surmise that here as well the price action will begin to make its way back to the macro trend support here and complete this wave coming down, which I believe it's going to do, but perhaps not before a substantial FOMO rally like we're seeing. I wouldn't be surprised if we go ahead and break resistance and we have another great FOMO pump, and this could take it up to, like I said, we've already kind of mitigated this area here, but we could still go up higher because what they're trying to do is generate liquidity. When this wedge breaks and it comes back down, this macro trend reverses, this macro counter trend. Well, they want to try to sell. I mean, think of it. The market makers want to sell as high as they can. They want to maximize their profit of what they accumulated up on, this, in the beginning of this wedge, all this consolidation, these waves bouncing around. That's what it's doing. They're buying Bitcoin with the end game to buy up here above, or rather to sell above the above resistance where it'll be overbought, and then bring it back down. Take the liquidity that's been generated up here and then buy again down here when they re-mitigate the lows, whenever that'll happen. And $25,000 Bitcoin appears to be the Fibonacci, the 618 fib, I believe, on the macro. So it remains to be seen, but nothing should be taking you by surprise at this point. Bitcoin is doing what it's doing. Remember, if you've watched my videos, I told you it'll be going back up to retest previous support lines that are now resistance, and maybe try to flip them. That's absolutely normal, and the whole purpose behind it is to get you anxious and to jump in thinking that, maybe it's going to buck the trend and it's going to break through this wedge, and because Bitcoin has been known to buck its trends, right? So it's a very recalcitrant crypto. It's even contumacious. That's a good word, isn't it? Contumacious. It's disobedient to authority. So the authority being the trend lines, the macro, micro trend resistance, whereas most assets, commodities, stocks, forex obey the governance of the trend. Bitcoin will push the envelope for sure, won't it? But I think it's inevitable. This is going to drop, but it just remains to be seen how high it'll pump in this UTAD, this upthrust after distribution, in this range here. This, because I told you what wedges are crooked tops, essentially. Rising wedges are crooked tops, falling wedges are crooked bottoms. And so that's why rising wedges are bearish and falling wedges are ultimately bullish. So this is a bearish range here. And when it drops, you need to be ready and hopefully not holding a bag up here like I see a lot of noob traders jumping in and doing. So just be smart. I'm not buying Bitcoin. I'm waiting for it to come back down. And I'll be buying below the macro trend support, not micro trend, macro trend. So, all right, so that's Bitcoin, and now I want to look real quick at Zcash before I sign off here. This is, guys, Zcash is it's buyable right now. This is not financial advice, but I've done several videos on Zcash, and this last one, remember I drew out the Fibonacci retracements. It's made its way. It already hit. I told you $18 Zcash. $18 Zcash. It's already hit 18. It's come back up to the trading range support, but I think it's a good chance we're going back down to remitigate and perhaps even lower, perhaps $17 to $15. But in any case, right now is a good area to begin dollar cost averaging in Zcash. Remember, this thing in this next bull run can go up higher than $300. And so to pick it up at like sub $20 right now is insane. I mean, it's really good. That would be real juicy profit. That's what I'm doing. I buy Zcash. There's a fixed supply, just like Bitcoin. I told you, it's like the mini me of Bitcoin, and I think they got 21 million of them, and that's all they're making. That's all that's mineable. And so after that, that's it. And it's a privacy coin. It's a partial privacy coin. It could be shielded, or you could lift the shield, unlike Monero, which is 100% dark. Which it's my understanding Monero just got delisted from Binance, or it's being suspended or something. There's something going on with it, but we already talked about that. And but Zcash has that option for tax purposes. It can be unshielded, and so I see it coming through. I see it being utilized. I see it a very big prominent part in Zcash. I'm a big proponent of Zcash. I love Zcash, and I think it's really worthwhile to accumulate, and that's what I'm doing. Not financial advice. It's what I'm doing. I'm a Zcash guy. So, and right now is prime Zcash. It's at its almost like its lowest that it's been. I'm expecting a mitigation on the macro of this $17 or whatever, and perhaps even lower. Now, the 1.618 retracement takes it down to 1444. So it may even wick down to there. And if Bitcoin breaks through and dumps to the bottom of this macro wedge that we just talked about, then I believe it'll pull Zcash down with it. So we may even see sub $14 before it's all said and done. Anyway, it's really exciting right now, and these are great buying opportunities. This is where you plant your seeds, guys. This is where you make your money. This is where you establish your positions. This is where you dig in preparation for the bull reversals, which are coming. The bull reversals are coming later this year or perhaps early next year. It just depends on what's happening with the economy. I think there's a lot. It's going to get a lot darker and a lot more bloodier before it gets before the sunrise. Sunrise being the bull reversal. It's going to get a lot redder before it gets green, if you know what I mean. So, hey, I'm a poet, aren't I? So anyway, yeah. So keep an eye on Zcash. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. I'm picking these up right now. I am DCAing. I'm not buying copiously. I'm not buying Zcash aggressively because I think it still has some more downside to come. But I am picking some up now. So just to let you know, and so anyway, and I stash it away on a ledger. That's and hope for the best. Zero or hero, as they say. So, all right. Well, guys, if you like this, if you got anything out of it, thumbs up, like, subscription so you don't miss more updates. I'm going to be doing Filecoin real soon. Excuse me. There's a few of them that I have right now. And I'm also talking about some new coins with my group. And we're talking about some real finance coins, some ERC20 coins that are ones that I've had my eye on and that others have had as well. And so we're looking at those, and I'm posting my preliminary buy points within the group. So if you're looking for a real solid way to boost your trading skills, I would recommend checking out our group. It's $20 a month. I keep it extremely affordable, and you learn how to trade the right way. You learn volume, price action, and learn about these different coins that we're all investing in. And it's not financial advice, but I've made a very comfortable living doing this since 2016, and it's kept me in it. I can do it full time now, and so I'm willing to share my knowledge with you. And most of all, to keep you safe in this market. This is a bear market. This is where you learn how to trade. This is where you stay safe. And because if you can make it in the bear market, the bull market, guys, when you learn the trading, you learn the skills that I can show you with Wyckoff, with Elliott Wave, with VSA, Wolf Wave, all that stuff, VWAP. Guys, you write your own checks. You could print your own money, literally, almost in the bull market. So check us out. If not, you could profit also just off the technical analysis that I share on TradingView and YouTube. All right, this has gone on 13 minutes. I need to get out of here and take my kids to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And so I will catch up with you later. And guys, just be safe. And if anything, I'll be keeping my eyes on the market. Anything happens, I'll be sure to let you know. All right, guys, adios. Take care. And strong hands. Bye-bye.